Just like the Imperium of Man has generals and commanders that lead the many crusades of humanity, the legions of chaos are marshaled into battle by the greater demons of the ruinous powers. Khorne has his bloodthirsters, Slaanesh has his keeper of secrets, Tzeentch has his lords of change, and Nurgle has his great unclean ones. Out of the four, the great unclean ones are the most cheerful generals of the legions of pestilence. They happily enter the material world, ready to spread the gifts of Grandfather Nurgle to the willing and the unwilling masses. Out of all the unclean ones, there are two greater demons that have formed a strange bond, and when one of these unclean ones is spotted, the other is soon to appear. That's because the god of pestilence and decay has bestowed onto these two greater demons the highest rank in his Plague Guard. The Plague Guard is a vast demon warband filled with Nurgle's greatest warriors. At the head of this army of disease is Colgath and Septicus, the two highest ranking greater unclean ones. And with that said, I want to welcome you guys back to another 40 Facts about the 40k universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and today we're going to be talking about the two great unclean ones, Colgath and Septicus. If you guys are new to the channel, we post Warhammer 40k lore videos every single day, so if you have any suggestions or questions about the 40k universe, just ask in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can watch those videos. If you guys enjoy our content, thank our patrons on Patreon. Link down in the description below if you guys want to support us, or simply by liking and sharing these videos, it really does help out the channel, so thank you guys ahead of time. But with all that said, let's get into 40 Facts on Colgath and Septicus. The foul, great unclean one, known as Colgath, began humbly enough as a diminutive Nurgling, serving Nurgle. He once sat upon the great shoulders of the Lord of Decay, as no more than a mite, while his master concocted the most virulent toxins ever created. Tumbling from his nesting place while Nurgle was mixing the noxious content, Colgath fell into the rusty cauldron. Taking a great drink of the filthy contents, the minor demon quickly swelled with power. Invigorated by the potent cauldron of poxes, Colgath continued to drink and drink until the cauldron was empty. The minuscule form of Colgath grew into a mighty great unclean one. Laughing with happiness at the antics of his new creation, Nurgle was pleased with Colgath and what he had become, the embodiment of the perfect disease. Realizing that his creator was not angry by his turn of events, Colgath soon realized that he had robbed the Plague Lord of his greatest achievement. Since that day, Colgath has sought to recreate the toxic miracle that birthed him into existence. Standing apart from his fellow greater demons, Colgath, now referred to as the Plague Father, is a somber creature. He does not revel in the gurgling delights of infection and plague, for the Plague Father is contemplative and industrious, forever traveling through the realms of chaos and the mortal universe, seeking every ingredient and sickness imaginable in order to recreate the perfect disease once more. Colgath moves across reality atop a palanquin carried by a mound of thousands of straining Nurglings, searching for the right combination of poxes and blights to replicate Nurgle's dark miracle. The palanquin is also loaded with the alchemaic paraphernalia of Colgath's mobile laboratory, so that he can continue to experiment and distill the procured poisons of millions of worlds in the furthest reaches of the ever-changing realm of the warp. To field test his creations, Colgath unleashes his virulent plagues during times of war, in order to test the effectiveness of his various concoctions, wiping out whole armies. In battle, Colgath hurls his pestilent Nurglings at his enemies, for the tiny demons grow within the Demon Lord, each carrying a unique blend of the virulent elements that created the unique Great Unclean One. With detached interest, Colgath watches each particular infection and their symptoms take hold of his victims of his field test experiments. Capturing those corrupted by his diseases, he takes them back to his lair within Nurgle's garden itself to observe them more closely. Thousands of cages, containing creatures of every known species from all across time and space, stretch into the darkness of his vast, ruinous lair. The victims of Colgath wail, gibber, and moan in the gloom, desperate for the death that will be long and agonizing in the coming. Colgath is not always seen alone. The great unclean one, known as Septicus VII, commander of the Septicus Legion, follows Colgath into battle within Nurgle's elite demonic Plague Guard. Septicus often carries with him the glistering stomach sack of some unfortunate creature with protruding hollowed antlers, on which he plays music as if it was some horrible bagpipe, summoning such terrible sounds that it exasperates even his fellow demons. During the later years of the Plague Wars, Septicus aided the Plague Guard in claiming the garden world of Yax in the realm of Ultramar. He also confronted Rubut Gilliman. During the battle, Septicus fought Gilliman, but was defeated, and his essence banished back into the warp by the Ultramarines Primarch with the mighty Sword of the Emperor. Though Septicus' essence was supposedly annihilated by the use of this potent Imperial artifact, as an extension of Nurgle's own concoctions, it was still possible for him to be resurrected. His ultimate fate is not truly known. Since the Plague Wars, Colgath and Septicus continue to plot the Plague Guard's return into real space. Under their command is many great unclean ones, such as Gangrel, a strange greater demon of Nurgle whose legs are worthless and has no control over them. He is forced to use his hands to walk and drags his legs behind him. There's also Pestis the Rune, who is an extremely large great unclean one who is known for his considerable power. Among his proudest accomplishments is the complete destruction of the ancient empire of Dravians, which he did so thoroughly, and no mortal history is known of its existence. There's also Bobandaban the Smiler, the great unclean one who is considered the jolliest of Nurgle's greater demons. He is constantly laughing and telling jokes. And then you finally have Squatimus and Famine, both great unclean ones that fought during the Plague War. Full-scale invasion occurs just like the Plague Wars. These greater demons take control of their individual warbands and terrorize separate subsectors. As each location is consumed by disease and filth, the great unclean ones converge on their one single main target. It's not entirely known how large and cohesive the Plague Guard is, but what is known is that when Colgath and Septicus decide to invade real space again, the Imperium will have to face another sector-wide invasion that can doom an entire segmentum. And those were 40 facts on Colgath and Septicus, the great unclean ones. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We have a longer video that goes through a variety of different unclean ones and an explanation of what the unclean ones truly are. I'll put a link up above. Also check out we have a playlist on the greater demons. So if you want to learn more about like the Bloodthirsters, the Keeper of Secrets, and all the other ones, I'll put a link up above to that playlist as well. If you guys have suggestions for any other topics, just let me know what it is in the comment section below. If you have any questions, just ask in the comment section below. If I don't get to answer that question, the community is pretty helpful. So somebody will answer the question down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.